Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Miguel.
This is the Didn't Anyone Mention podcast.
Welcome back.
I guess, yeah.
So, if you were in a predicament
Okay.
where, you could die,
Okay.
what do you think your last words would be?
I guess it would depend on how I would be going out.
Hmm.
So, okay, I'm going to give you three different scenarios.
Okay.
Car? Probably,
Car?
oh shit. That's probably.
Oh, like in an act. Okay.
Okay, yeah. If it was in a
okay.
car, my last word would probably be like, oh shit.
Okay.
Drowning, it'd probably be.
I knew you were going to do something like that. Okay.
How else? I really think those are probably.
Like, like it's been drawn out. Like, you've
like
been.
tortured?
No, like, I don't know, even just like you were super old and you were in hospital for like 2 weeks and then you are like, other people are like, oh, are you going to get better? And you're like, yeah, I don't know. But then it's like your last words.
I mean, I don't know.
You don't know you think you're just going to go like instantly. Like it's not going to be
Maybe
something.
not instantly, but like you're saying if I was on my hospital bed?
Well, I'm just saying like if you, like, you were staring down the death doorway, like what would you, like you have been for a couple days now, and then
know. Probably welcome. I don't know.
that's your last word, welcome.
Actually, my last word would be like, the money's under the... and then I'd go.
Okay. So I have a fun little topic from our homeboy, Andrew.
Oh.
He messaged on Instagram, so...
Ooh, oh, Andrew. He's also very active on our YouTube page.
I know. Homie's a freaking... He's homie. Also, Andrew, I hope you caught some awesome fish when you were ice fishing.
Yeah, hopefully you did better than I did.
So, yeah. Floyd Collins. Have you ever heard of him?
Floyd Collins. Nope.
Nope. You're gonna love it. This is a caver.
Oh my gosh, really?
Practically made up caving himself.
Nuh-uh.
No, I'm joking. But, this was like a while ago. So Andrew called him the story of a man in a cave. Or the story of a man in a cave. I'm guessing is what he meant to say. But it said the sorry of the man in the cave.
Okay.
But,
The sorrows of a man in a cave?
honestly, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Because homeboy was... Here, let me give you a little history on him. So, Floyd Collins was born in 1887. So this was a hot minute ago.
Yeah, that was a couple days ago.
Yeah. In Kentucky.
What part of Kentucky?
Kentucky, is like a little blob. He was kind of just like in the center of it. When I looked up on the map, like, because his family owned a farm right next to Mammoth Cave, which, fun fact, we have a Mammoth Cave in Idaho as well.
It's in Hagerman, isn't it?
I think so, or something like that, yeah. But anyways, this is I'm talking about Kentucky. They had a small farm near there, but it's a national park now, by the way, the Mammoth Cave.
Okay.
Back in this time it wasn't, but not yet at least. And he grew up around caves. Like in this, I guess in Kentucky there's a ton of caves. I didn't realize that, but there is a ton.
Either.
Yeah, apparently there's a ton because there's like cave tourism was starting to boom back then. So this was like 1920s-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say 1920s. At least this is like his thing, and he was like trying to find a cool cave for his family to like run a thing through.
Mm-hmm.
So he was risking his life to go find how to make some money. So
He was the guy, huh?
yeah, so
he was playing Minecraft in real life.
Literally,
looking for some diamonds.
Because he grew up in a pretty rural area, and there was just a ton of caves. From a young age, he was fascinated by them, and they were a big deal in that area. So like,
yeah,
it makes sense that he would be like.
Does Kentucky have part of Appalachia?
Ew, I don't know.
Because I know the Appalachian Mountains, I think, run through there. There's some creepy shit. Supposedly it comes out of the Appalachian area.
Well, especially like...
A lot of them are coal miners, too.
I was going to say East America has a lot of history in general.
It's just creepy.
Yeah. But anyways, so back, like I said, cave tourism was booming, and people were always looking in new caverns to explore.
I don't understand this.
So that they could turn them into attractions.
Of course. Naturally.
You gotta make that money.
Naturally.
So this is like early adventures. He was navigating underground passages. He was squeezing into very tight spaces. All the thing Miguel loves. And discovering new areas. He wasn't just a hobbyist. He was actually like good at it. So it wasn't just a hobby. You know, and it's like,
I think you
like
have to be good at it if you're trying to feed your family from it.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, homeboy, like what they essentially were saying is like he's not just like doing it to like pass his time. Like he's good at it. Like he knows his stuff.
Huh.
He explored and even helped like develop several caves in the Mammoth Cave region, including Crystal Cave, which he founded in 1917. And then his family tried to turn Crystal Cave into a tourist attraction, but it was kind of like off a beaten path, so not a lot of people came, so it didn't bring a lot of money in. I'm guessing now, if they still have any kind of stakes in it, I bet, or if it like got passed down the line, I bet they're making plenty of money now.
What is the... I guess I just don't understand the idea of the cave. Like, they were just looking for diamonds, or was it just like a place for people to hang out?
Just genuinely attractions to just go see it.
Huh. Okay.
I guess. People were just like scoping out for the prohibition, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
But one of his biggest finds was Sand Cave. That would later...
His life, huh?
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With a name like that, Sand Cave.
Yeah. Sad. But he was hoping it would lead to a larger undiscovered system that could compete with the Mammoth Cave.
That's almost like gambling.
Yeah, well, especially underground, you have no idea.
Dude, that is it's the worst way to fucking go.
Yeah, I guess back then they were like, let's claim all this. Let's claim America. But why do that when you can go underground? Like, what? I don't know.
I still don't understand the idea of caving.
I don't either. But I know. That's why I was like, well, I have to do it now. So, but, because already Mammoth Cave was like a place to go already. So that's where he was like, I have to come up with my own, I think is what this point. Yeah, so early 1925, he was exploring Sand Cave. You guessed it, alone.
Of course.
Because why would you take a buddy?
You don't need one when you are just that guy.
Why? Why would you go alone?
Why would you go?
Do we remember 127 Hours? The
No.
homeboy who freaking got his arm stuck
yeah.
and he cut it off?
Ian McCandles.
Is that his name? I can't even remember his name.
I just remember McCandles, I think was his last name.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Dude, I cannot believe it. You went by yourself? And this already was in history?
Yeah.
So anyways, but like I said, he's alone. He's trying to find new entrance or passage that may make the cave more accessible. So he pretty much was just like, I have to make it easier. So I can make money off of it.
Wait, so he was expanding these entrances?
Like, not expanding, he was finding new ones and like more accessible ones.
So he was guiding people through this stuff?
Not even. He would find it, tell people, or like chart it, and then be like, yeah, go do it. He was like discovering
I cannot believe people were doing that.
Yeah. But on January 30th, get wrecked.
January 30th?
Yeah, it's actually right around his, like, right around this, exactly 100 years ago.
Wow.
Almost. Did not mean to do that. I don't know if our homeboy Andrew meant to do that, but...
He knew.
1925 is 2025. Crazy. 100. And January, well, he technically died in February. It's like, dang. I mean, by the time it comes out, it's March, but we recorded it in February.
We did. It was the last day of February today.
Yeah, so, I was reading it from a little bit of a different, this is from the, what website is this? National Park Service. So it gave a little bit more of it actually gives like a day-by-day entrapment.
Dude, I hate reading these. Actually, I don't hate reading them.
You just feel like you
I
just
hate
feel sad.
watching the videos of like, this is how this person got stuck. And it's like a 2D plan, of how their body moved and got there, and then they couldn't back up. I'm like, oh, dude.
Yeah. So I'm gonna set the scene. Floyd knew of the other cave, like I said. It was owned by Beasley Doyle.
What a name!
I know. And it had prime real estate situated right beside the cave city road, which travelers would pass by and stuff like that for Mammoth Cave. So Floyd made an agreement with Beasley to explore that cave. That's why he was doing it. And they would split the profits. He's like, cool, I'll try to find a cool entrance and a good accessibility. Yeah. But we split the proceeds. He went in January 30th with one kerosene lamp and found it offered a lot of challenges, the cave. Found himself squeezing through tight passageways.
A kerosene lamp, too.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And at one point, so tight that he inched through on his stomach with one arm stretched out in front of him with the lantern, and the other one was by his side.
Oh my god.
Just pausing to let you really take that in. And he just inched on his stomach.
Ugh.
After this crawl, the cave opened up, but suddenly his lantern began to flicker. He knew the peril of losing light, so he didn't want to, but he started turning around. Because he was like, you cannot be in here without light. Like, it's just, you can't.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's not discombobulation, disorienting.
Yeah, it's like total darkness.
Oh, it's pitch black. You can't see your hand in front of your face. Nothing.
Yeah. Ooh, even worse.
As he returned the tight crawl, the section we were just talking about, his foot dislodged a 27-pound rock, which wedged his ankle right in place. He couldn't move. He couldn't move his foot out from under it. He was strapped in a stone straitjacket.
Wait, so his foot kicked a rock?
He moved with I'm guessing with one foot, and it ended up trapping the other foot. Or he moved, and then the rock just moved right onto his foot. And it just, straight up, just like this guy.
Just pinned him.
Yeah, pinned him. And he was 60 feet under the earth. So it was freezing under. It was 60 feet underground. Freezing temperatures. It became a national sensation. So I'm guessing the guy who, I don't know, hired him essentially to figure this out.
Just PR'd his ass after he died?
Not even after he died. All these people are here watching this man die.
They're going in and seeing
him?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
They're not even seeing him. They're just filming and covering it the whole time.
Nobody tried to get him fucking out?
Everybody was trying to get him out. So the whole rescue attempt was one of the most publicized, recorded rescuing of a person. There's all sorts of videos of people getting saved at this point.
So my boy Floyd was being videotaped through his death.
Well, nobody had really a picture of him. He's 60 feet underground.
Were they dropping food down for him at least?
They were trying to get him food and water and everything.
Probably laxatives would do better.
Freezing. I feel like you would treat your body, but we can go through each day.
Oh my god.
So that was February 30th. We have the 31st. Neighbors realized that Floyd did not come back home, and they went out to look for him. They discover his coat hanging outside the sand cave and proceed to search for him. The cave passages are so tight that only a 17-year-old boy, first off, why are we sending a child down there?
It's probably the only guy that fits.
He crawled back far enough to communicate with Floyd. That's how they discovered. So, yeah, neighbors, the guy that owns, because they owned land over there by them. Yeah. So, yeah, it was the guy who he made the deal with was like, bang, Becky. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Neighbors alerted Floyd's family, and then soon his brothers, Homer and Marshall, and they started joining the rescue attempt, and they started bringing Floyd food and water. So this is the first day he was stuck.
Okay.
Because he went down on Friday, so this is Saturday. So now we're at Sunday, February 1st. Homer, one of his brothers, attempts to dig Floyd free with little success. Many locals start gathering around the entrance to see what's happening.
Of course.
Marshall offers $500 to whoever can free his brother, but nobody volunteered. I mean, besides, like, because they'd have to go down there.
So you said it's 60 feet into the earth, or is it like he dropped into this cave, or is it like
there's drop downs? There's vertical drops that makes it go lower and lower.
Oh.
The rescue efforts are disorganized and chaotic. No leader is appointed, no one idea of rescue is identified. Many volunteers agree to bring food and drink down to Floyd, but get scared in the tight, dark passageways. They insist to stash the items in cracks and crevices and never get the provisions to Floyd.
So they just say they're delivering the food, but But
they're just stashing it because they get too scared.
That must be fucking horrifying because you're like 20 feet away from food.
Well, and then you see these people who got down far enough later, and you see this, and you're like, what the heck? Because it took them 17 days to get to him. And I'll tell you, and I'll get to when he passes. So we were just on Sunday. So Monday, he's in rough shape. He's cold, shaky, numb, experiences both, spore and lucidity? Lucidity? I don't know what lucidity.
I don't know what word you're trying to say.
That's usually a better question is, what am I trying to say? 1 second. Let me look up a definition here because I'm a freaking...
17 days to get to this guy.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
That is, reason number 1 to never go caving, honestly. Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh, like lucidity. Yeah, like you're lucid.
Lucidity, okay.
Yeah, clarity. So he's starting to lose it. He's
naturally. Don't blame him.
The news that the man in Kentucky was trapped in a cave begins to spread around the region and state. Journalists from Louisville Courier? Is that a word? How to Courier? Courier?
I don't know. Use it in the context.
Courier Journal?
Sure.
Named William... I didn't realize. William Skeets Miller. Dude,
they're so wild back in the day. Old Skeeter.
Old Skibbity. Skeet. Heads to the cave city to check out the story. Upon arriving, asking Homer about the situation, Homer says, if you want information, there's a hole right over there. You can go down and find out yourself.
Seriously?
Skeets enters the cave to speak to Floyd.
He goes all the way in?
He goes in. He said, upon seeing the situation Floyd is in, Skeets forgets about the news stories and starts assessing the rescue attempt. Little guy. Lieutenant Robert Burden, Special Police Fire Rescue Team, arrives on scene 4 days later. Okay. Technically only 3 days later, because the first day they technically didn't figure it out. So, arrives on scene and attempts to free Floyd by using a harness around his chest to pull him out. The attempt is painful and unsuccessful. I would say dislocate it, rip it off.
Tear that fucking leg off is what I'm saying.
It was just his ankle.
Tear it.
It's a foot. You're good. I mean, back in the day, I bet they would have had to maybe take it up a little bit in the 20s. It wouldn't be as, like, precise maybe as nowadays. But either way.
Pull it out. That's what I'm saying.
You can take my leg at that point. I don't care. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll be selling my story for the rest of my life if you want me to. That's fine.
Maybe you write a book, start a podcast about it.
1920.
Yeah. Say you start it. Your podcast name could be I don't know.
Only one left foot.
One left foot.
Unless it's too.
My last stand.
Dang, that's way better than mine. Okay. Roughly 200 people are now gathered outside the cave.
Oh my gosh.
2 tents.
People watch anything.
I know. 2 tents have been put up, and then one.
Somebody's selling hot dogs out. Somebody's selling hot dogs out back.
Hot coffee and snacks, and the other is first aid. So some person's like, I'm making some cash. Okay, John Gerald, cave buddy of Floyd Collins.
What is up with these names also? John Gerald, Floyd Merriweather. We got Skeeter Johnson.
It's the 20s, 1920s. Arrives on scene to join the rescue attempts by digging him out. Also, John, where were you, bud? Why?
This was
planned? You said that you were a caving buddy? Ain't much of a buddy if he's by himself.
You think this was planned then?
No, it wasn't planned. I'm just saying they ingrain it as children. Where's your exit buddy? Where's your buddy? Where's your buddy? Why'd you leave your buddy? I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm just saying, like, Floyd, why didn't you take a buddy either?
Yeah.
Goes both ways on the buddy system.
I suppose, yeah.
Okay. So, that was Monday. Tuesday, he's the top news story in the whole nation.
Oh my gosh, dude. This is, like, not surprising in any way.
A lot happens this day, so I'm going to kind of breeze through it, but a couple men try to convince John to let them chisel at the rock above Floyd. John is concerned the lead would harm him. Like, it would cause more harm than good. It ends up causing a rift with the people. Like, I'm guessing it just caused tension, because I bet some people were like, oh yeah, let's just do it, and then the other half is like, no, that just is gonna...
No, we're just here to watch.
Well, I feel like where they're getting from is like, you don't know. If you break too much rock, the whole thing could, like, just go on him. I'm like, I would be like, at this point, he's gonna die either way, so can we at least try? But that's what I'm saying. I'm guessing both were making their cases, and it was starting to cause a rift.
Could they hear him talk?
Yes, so they would get far enough where they could hear him talk.
Dude.
So...
Nightmare for Floyd. Oh my God.
So Henry, he's a superintendent of, like, some asphalt company, arrives with his workers. He makes a first attempt on organized rescue, but 4 days in. He starts scouting, but Floyd's brother and locals are convinced the rescue shaft would jar rocks and cause a collapse, killing Floyd.
I mean, at this point...
The Henry reluctantly agrees, and his men start removing rocks from the cave passageway to make it easier. Skeets and other volunteer rig an electrical drop with a cord with light bulbs, blah, blah, blah. So they can string these lights to cave so he can have more light and warmth in the cave.
Yeah, because they use incandescent bulbs, which produce heat, yep.
And, I mean, it's freezing down there. It's genuinely freezing.
Yeah.
National Guard is there and assists with crowd control because it's gotten crazy.
This is fucking ridiculous already.
So one of the lieutenants returns and he's like, I really want to try this pulling on him again. He's like, I'm going to pull him out with or without his foot. I don't care.
The only one with common sense so far.
Apparently everybody, and then the brothers get into a fight about what's the best action.
Bro. Are you fucking kidding me?
So
why don't you send somebody to go talk to Floyd? Floyd's probably gonna be like,
also,
I don't feel his fucking leg right now. Just take me.
Also,
Jesus Christ.
What about the guy getting saved? Does he get any input?
No.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Yep.
So most of the rebels were moved. They're using jacks to prop it. They're trying to prop, like, the foot. Cease tries a method with 2 jacks, but it's too big. I mean, he's in a freaking teeny tiny hole. They're like, they don't have the space to do what they're trying to do. Tensions between locals and outsiders, quote unquote, people who are outside the community coming to help, are high. Everyone decides to get some rest and come back in the morning.
Must be nice.
Wednesday, early morning. Floyd's in decent shape. He's not in great shape, but he's I'm guessing the warmth of the light and things like that are starting. And it sounds like they actually are able to get him food at this point. Because if other people are going down, they sure enough have seen those little pockets and are giving him food. There's a lot that happens this day too, but a press conference is held that they're hoping that he'll be out soon. There's still a lot of tensions between outsiders and not.
Of course.
At 4 a.m., 2 gentlemen enter the sand cave to give Floyd food and notice the passageway and ceiling is starting to get large cracks. Sizable rocks are slumping downward and debris is falling. They hurry to exit the cave as rocks start to fall. There's officially a cave collapse. and it separates the rescue team from Floyd.
While they're in there?
Well, they saw it and they barely got out in time.
The entrance to the cave?
Yeah, so there's no... So now the rescuers deem it's too dangerous, useless. No more attempts to free Collins or to free him were made via that route. His brother attempts to dig him out with a large group of men. I mean, it doesn't work. But the rescuers are feeling truly defeated. Churches across the country are holding services for him. Floyd is the top news of the New York Times. Interviews with Floyd that Skeet provides are incredibly popular. I'm like, a reporter that full on went down there to talk to him? Crazy. Now we're on Thursday.
Are there any recordings?
I don't know about recordings, but it's very well documented. I mean, this is how we know about this. Like, somebody was taking notes the whole entire time. I bet if we looked up those articles, we could read what he had to say with him. But, okay. I mean, we'll get into it, but I know his exact last words. So, we know. The governor of Kentucky is there now. He places National Guard. Well, not there, but, like, he's like, the National Guard is now in charge of this.
Okay. So...
low-key, that's what we've been needing, is somebody to step up and take charge. It sounds like it's just chaos 24/7.
Right.
So they get a vertical shaft starting to go, like, just they're going to start digging down. General was like, now it's up to you to drill through the ground directly into Collins' side, spare no expense, get it open. He said the purse strings of Kentucky are open.
Wow.
So
money is no object.
I think at that point they're like,
save this man.
I mean, how sad is it that you just have somebody sitting there? But like, what's so crazy to me is that it got so big. Some random guy in the 20s. I don't know if it was like, we care about America. I don't know. I don't know what was going on in the 20s.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of news besides... maybe they had something else to focus on after World War I.
I don't know, but still, so the purse strings of Kentucky are open. That's such a saying.
What a terrible name to call it.
I know. Due to the lengthy deliberations, it didn't even start until 1:30 p.m. So, but they were worried that they were going to kill him if they go too fast, so use the wrong tools, so they only allowed picks and shovels. They didn't want to do drills, dynamites, power shovels, or pneumatic.
What? Say the rest of the word.
Pneumatic drills.
Pneumatic drills. Yeah.
Pneumatic. Why is there a freaking P in front of it if you're not even gonna announce it?
I don't know, but super side note. Did you hear that? Pringles came out with their actual pronunciation.
What?
It's Ringles.
I don't even want to hear it.
I'm not even joking you.
Ringles?
Yeah.
Because you get rings around your arm when you're freaking shoving your whole hand in there?
I don't know. But they came out and said that.
That's a bunch of baloney. Yeah. They're forever Pringles. Also, this is panomic.
So you're dead naming Ringles. That's cool.
You can cancel me. So yeah, they only were using picks and shovels. Many companies, businesses from all over were sending supplies to try to help with it.
Oh my gosh.
By nightfall, there was a workforce of 75 men working around the clock to dig this shaft. It would take them 30 hours, 2 feet per hour, to reach him. So that's what they configured. For the first 4 or 5 feet, diggers encountered nothing but mud and muck. The next several feet were rock, and the shaft was only big enough for 3 people to work at a time. By 7 p.m., they were 7 feet down, digging at a rate of only 1 foot per hour. The hospital was set up to treat people for cuts, colds, contusions, bruises, and physical exhaustion. Locals are pushed out of the rescue area and not happy about it.
Bro, they're just there watching this dude.
I know. Friday. Homeboy's been down there a whole week.
Okay.
Because he went down on Friday. So... work on the shaft
longest week of
is
his
a
life.
Snail's pace. Reporters are pestering many people to get information from Floyd. Get out of here. Shaft is now at 17 feet. Massive amount of volunteers and supplies arrive. Process is well organized and managed, but due to large rock, gravel, and muck, shaft like building slows, but it has reached 17 feet, like I said. Due to rising tempers and arguments, the brothers are banned from the rescue site. Much needed. 400 automobiles jam the roads trying to get to Sand Cave.
Oh my gosh.
Several motion picture crews arrive on site hoping to capture the drama unfolding. Rumors and lies start spreading as the newsman became desperate for anything to write or broadcast about. Saturday.
So
National Guards.
Day 8?
This is day 8. Technically day 9 because he was there the 30th. And there's 31 days in June.
Okay.
National Guard puts up barbed wire fence to get the site to chill out. I'm like, Jesus, you guys, get out of there. Red Cross arrives, takes over feeding workers, states that previously workers only had black coffee, crackers, and moonshine whiskey. That's all they were operating on.
This sounds like it's Appalachia already.
Several people look like
crackers, coffee, and moonshine. LCCM.
Several people look at other caves or entrances to the Sand Cave to possibly gain access to Floyd. They're unsuccessful. Cave City is inundated with visitors and news people. There's newsmen from every single state, foreign reporters, English correspondents. Literally, it was just insane. Obviously. Sunday. Named Carnival Sunday. Apparently, this is the craziest day. An estimated 10,000 descend upon Sand Cave to hope to see rescuers pull Floyd Collins out. 10,000! That is insane.
That's crazy.
It almost takes on a carnival-like atmosphere with food services, entertainment, and booze.
Oh my god!
Bro, you're dying! You're dying! And people are literally dancing on your grave above you!
Yeah, dude, you got people, instead of funnel cakes, they're selling tunnel cakes? This is fucking terrible, dude.
Oh my god. By 1 p.m., the shaft is 23 feet deep.
That's not even halfway.
It's not even halfway. By nightfall, estimated 4,500 automobiles have been to the Sand Cave area and bear license plate from 20 different states.
Oh, this is...
What I'm saying
I don't understand. What is like...
I don't know, dude.
Hey, honey, you want to go see that fella trapped in the cave?
It's like you guys didn't have jobs. Oh, goodness. But, so there's accusations that not enough was being done. That have been they were now getting that printed in the newspapers. People started pointing fingers on who's to blame. So Robert, I'm pretty sure that's the brother, if I remember right, says some of the rescuers were guilty of nothing short of murder.
Of course.
Rumors were flying around that it's all a publicity stunt to get Floyd's Great Crystal Cave more popular, and that he isn't even trapped down there. That was some of the rumors. Wow. I'm like, that sucks. The rumors also have to do with jealousy, personal enmity, and commercial strife. The story is printed in the newspaper, and the police step in and order a grand jury investigation into the legitimacy of these statements. You can't just say somebody's faking it while they're down there dying.
Seriously?
You cannot say that. Okay, Monday. Media starts to paint the entire scene in a very negative light. 4 main theories are floating around. Colossal hoax to lure tourists in to Kentucky's cave country.
I bet this was the doing of the news reporters that wanted something to say about it.
Exactly. They just needed to get back to work with a story, and if they didn't, I bet you anything they were going to be canned. How much you gonna bet?
I bet it was the Onion.
Collins was murdered by someone after he entered the cave. This is not true. Food and water were purposely being withheld with him so he would die. Collins is still alive and travels out of the cave and back each night. Like, what?
Dude, these people are nutty.
Oh my gosh. And then he shoves that rock back on his foot. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Tuesday. Military court inquiry convenes in Cave City to clear up any suspicious criminal activity and get rid of this hoax. Like, they're clearing the air. Volunteer numbers drop as people begin to think events of Sand Cave is a hoax.
Wow, so people that are there thinking it's not real either.
Yeah. Awesome. Leave. 10,000 of you, leave. Get out of here.
Also,
you do not all need to be there.
There's kids playing.
Yeah,
this
literally.
Dude's just like...
Rain.
I feel bad for
it's starting to rain.
Oh, no. That's what happens,
this is slowing it down. Wednesday. Cold front moves in. Snow begins to fall. Temperature falls to the 20s.
Oh, fuck.
Could you imagine how cold it is down there?
I mean, it's probably warmer than it is out there. Because the ground stays a pretty consistent temperature.
Yeah, and they have lights to them. I just don't know if he lost all those lights because it was already below freezing beforehand.
Yeah.
Numb hands and cold feet slow the process. Thursday. Court case continues to hear testimony in Cave City. Floyd has been trapped for 13 days and hasn't eaten in over a week since its collapse.
He has water, though?
I mean, Eating, I think, is technically going to kill you before not having water.
You have it backwards.
Or backwards. Oh, it's backwards. But I don't know if he's getting some moisture from, like, rain or something. I don't know. It just says eaten. Rescue shaft has reached 48 feet.
So close.
And the sides need constant shoring to avoid collapse. I don't really know what that term is, but I'm guessing support.
Mm-hmm.
Like, essentially. Monday. I just totally skipped a few days. Okay, I was on Thursday. 13 days, 48 feet. Friday, the 13th, also, by the way. Spooky. February 13th, the court makes a trip to the cave to get testimony from more people. Rumors spread that Floyd was rescued and in Washington, D.C., became so inundated with calls that business suspended for the days with the situation. 10 p.m., shaft reaches 52 feet. February 14th, shaft is now 55 feet. They're 5 feet away from him. They're so close to him.
My goodness. Yeah, they are.
And he's been in there for 2 weeks now.
Oh, man.
55 feet. Sides are starting to slump. They're desperate to reach him.
Oh, my gosh. 55
so they
feet.
literally start digging laterally to reach him faster. There's been heavy rain, and it's 2 feet of standing water at the bottom of this shaft. And it needs to be constantly pumped out. The rain and fog continue to plague the city area, of course. Estimated 5,000 people traveled to Sand Cave to watch the rescue efforts. And by the end of the night, the lateral tunnels within several feet of Floyd. Everyone waits with bated breath to see them pull him out. 1 p.m. Monday, they break through the Sand Cave passage, and he is found dead. So sad. They say the cause of death was due to exposure, exhaustion, and starvation. Due to the condition of his body, he has been dead for over 24 hours. The fact that Floyd's leg was still trapped, they decided to leave the body in the sand cave, abandon rescue in the shaft, because the shaft was at an alarming rate. It was like slumping in at an alarming rate, and they didn't want to risk anyone else's life, so they decided to leave it there at that time.
Yeah, with all the rain coming down and all that.
Yeah. They did end up, he died on the 13th. He died on Friday. I think that was, like, estimated.
That's when they were probably pronounced dead.
Yeah, that's when they would have been able to say, like, yeah, that was estimated death. And I was going to tell you, because obviously they were able to talk to him that week before, and I'm guessing somebody asked him, because of course, because for how it reads, makes me think somebody's like, do you think you're going to die? Or where do you think you're going to go when you die? I feel like is going to be a question, because his last words were, I believe I would go to heaven, but I can feel that I'm going to be taken out of here alive, or out alive. So he had faith in all these people that were going to rescue him, and
that's eerie.
Eerie.
It's very eerie.
And crazy that it became such a spectacle at that point. Like, what?
That is, I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that.
Yeah. But it was kind of crazy. I was like, dang, I found the day by day of each one, because, I mean, it's one of the most documented things at that point, because it's not even like it was all by himself, and he got out and he had to, like, retell the story or anything. So, yeah, so sad. Well, and then it's, then you have family that fights. It's like, yes, they just want the best for their own brother, of course, but then it's like,
Are you really doing any good?
Yeah, chaos isn't going to help anything. Mm-hmm. You have to have structure if you're going to want a solid outcome.
Oh my goodness.
But it was there are musicals, like full-on like productions about this, songs about it. It's like, it was so well known that, yeah, there's a straight up musical, a Floyd Collins musical about the whole thing. Like, what? So, anyways.
I don't even know what to say. Just don't go caving. I don't even know.
Okay, I will show you a picture of Mammoth Cave, okay?
Like inside of it, or just like a depiction?
This is like, dang, this one's Idaho's. I don't want Idaho. I want Kentucky.
Kentucky.
So, here, I'll show Miguel these.
Let me see here.
I mean...
All right. So, I'm looking
It's big. It is like it has like staircases.
Yeah,
like, it's
it
massive.
actually does look pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It's like that one place we talked about.
Wichelka?
It was like in a different country.
Wichelka Salt Mine.
Yes.
Wichita or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Okay. But it's big enough and stable enough where I feel like I would go comfortably into like the main section, but I would never go caving off into anything else.
Yeah, that actually does look pretty cool.
It looks really pretty.
I'd go in there.
If I can like fully walk in there and walk out. Like, I'm not climbing into anything.
I know, dude.
But
it does look pretty cool. Maybe Sam will post some pictures on the Instagram.
I know. I need to... I always keep on saying that I need to post pictures, but then I always forget that we record a little ahead. So I'm like, I just need to take the time to do the math on when it's going to come out and then preset it.
Fair enough.
But I will, because it is really cool. But rest in peace to Floyd Collins.
Yeah.
He would have been like 140 years old or something, but
yeah. Social Security still could have been paid out to him.
Just saying, 100th, like almost like 100-year anniversary kind of thing. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
But how spooky, Friday the 13th.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say about this one. Mm-hmm. I can't believe you had the National Guard. The governor or the mayor? The governor. The governor. Was just like, spend all the money we have, get this man out. Mm-hmm. You had all the news media outlets broadcasting this. And
you were just 3 days and they were just 3 days too late.
Do you think the people selling snacks there felt bad? Or they were like, there's a lot of people here, we gotta make money? Maybe not felt bad, but they were like, this probably isn't the greatest thing in the world. You know?
I think so, but at that point, I think they believed he was going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely was like, oh, they're going to get him out. I feel like maybe afterwards they're like, oh my gosh. Like, he was, especially the people who thought it was a hoax. You imagine you've been, like, telling people that, and you're just like, oh,
you he was down there. Silent about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeesh.
But there you go. That's all I got. I feel like that's a beefy one, but
I'm gonna leave our listeners with some advice. Don't go caving. I don't understand it. I don't think I'll ever do it. The closest I ever got to was crawl spaces.
I don't even like that. Ugh.
And if there were some tight ones. But to go in a tunnel, no.
Yeah.
No. Don't do it.
No way, Jose. That ain't me. Not right here, partner. Not right here.
Okay. All right, we'll see you guys in the next one.